It's godson.
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 Say godson. Say the word right. You said godson.
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 Correct word identified.
Now I know who you're talking about.
Oh.
All right, get this party started on a Saturday night. Everyone's waiting for me to arrive.
Shout welcome to the capsule and then lick the rim of that cup. Just do it. Just
Do
shout
it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
It's truth or
So,
dare.
welcome to the capsule.
Do it. Welcome to the capsule. Why do I always say it so annoying?
Yeah.
Why do you say everything so annoying?
Well,
It's not turned up. Now we have to wait for it to finish.
Oh, great.
Now we have to start everything again.
This is the beginning
because
of the
our
podcast.
mics aren't turned off.
Is it this
either.
one for the volume?
Yeah.
I think. Now.
I mean, let's just start and I can put that thing at the beginning.
No, you must do it properly. This
Alright.
is your podcast.
Okay. Jen said, no, okay.
Stop trying to steal my job.
Producer
goddamn.
Abe is killing the game.
Just because you have long
Hit us with some
arms.
sound effects. Producer Abe. Nice. What else you got?
Meet Tally.
Oh, she's
no,
not here.
do not meet Tally.
Bye bye, Jenny.
Yep, as always.
Bye bye, Jen. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye, Jenny.
I think there's nothing on that one.
Luke.
Bye bye, bye bye, Jenny. Bye bye, Jen. Bye bye. Bye.
This is what I'll walk down the aisle to.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the capsule. I'm back with two of. I always want to do like the Joe Budden intros. Like, I'm here with some of my nearest and dearest. We got Abe in the house. We got Jenna Lou in the house. What's happening, people? How are you?
Lots is happening.
Lots is happening, such as what?
Such as just uninteresting my life things that I don't think people would find interesting.
Oh,
That's so interesting that
Well,
you brought it up.
yeah,
and
thanks
now
for bringing
you,
that up.
Well, that's what's going on in my life. I don't have any fun updates. I'm sorry.
okay. Well, that's fine.
That's fair enough.
How about you?
We're
Have you
not
got any
judging
fun updates that we shouldn't talk about?
Boom, boom, boom.
No.
Say.
Well, that's the updates.
Well, that's been an episode of the capsule.
What about you, Luke? Do you have any
Yeah.
updates that you want to share with us?
Well, I was in Wiltshire for the last 2 days,
Wiltshire.
which is why the pod is coming out later in the week. I was working on a job at a contemporary dance festival, which was very fun and very warm, because the last 2 days were hell and the motorways were melting and stuff like that. Yeah, contemporary dance festival was sick. Actually, it was really cool to see. Yo, rich people be rich people in. It's crazy.
That's going to be us.
Yeah. But anyway, and then before that, this weekend, I went to Unleash the Groove, which was, for the most part, a pretty good event.
Did you unleash your groove?
I unleashed my groove to the top 8, and then my groove
Leashed?
got leashed by a young lady named Barbara from Paris, I believe,
Ooh.
who sent me packing, who said, "That's quite enough popping from you, sir. You're finished."
Did
Go
she say it
home."
like that or did she say it more French?
She said it with her pops. She said, "That is quite enough from you. You can go home now." And then the judges said, "We agree." Oh no, the judges are English. They said, "We fucking agree, mate. She's well better than you. You head off home. See you later." And I said, "Cheerio."
Well done.
Yeah, thank you,
Well
sir.
done.
Getting top 8.
Oh, jeez.
Smoking the game.
No, I brought it up, but I'll take it. Yeah, the event was pretty good, actually. It was at Genesis Cinema in Mile End Road. Whereabouts? In Bethnal Green? Stepney Green. When I first heard that it was in a cinema, I was très confused.
Outraged. He was outraged.
No, I thought that would be actually cool, but I was like, where exactly are we going to do this? But most of it was so it kind of moved back and forth between the inside and the outside. But the outside bit was really cool. It was like out the back of the cinema, and they helped set up. Obviously, it was really hot. They set up kind of out the back. There was someone like selling clothes and sneakers and stuff, and then there was like food. They were selling alcohol. Yeah, it was actually sick. Like a nice outdoor jam. Like the music was good. Debo and Billy Business was spinning.
Billy Business.
Billy Business. Brian.
My name's Billy Business.
Yeah, it was sick. Nice vibes. Nice to see everyone. I didn't stay all the way to the end. It was cool. And then when they moved it inside, it was like in the screen where the cinema would be.
In the screen where the cinema would be.
Yeah, I said that weird, huh? In the cinema
where the screen would be.
Like where the movies would be.
Yeah, so that's
there
a
we go.
screen.
Do you know what she did when we went to see Thor?
What did she do?
We the most French thing ever. When the credits came up, I said to her like, Google whether there's how many post credit scenes there are. So she wrote Thor post scene credit, and I pointed at it and went like this, and she goes, oh, and then changed it to say post scene movie. And I was like, no, that's not the part that you spelled.
Post movie.
No, it was post scene credit, and then, 'cause instead of post credit scene, you put post scene credit, and then when you realized you'd made a mistake, deleted credit and wrote movie, and I was like, no, that's not quite
how
it
it
either.
works.
Listen, you try to be bilingual and come back to me about Google research.
She's got you there.
And come back to you about Google research.
Yeah,
And I am trying to be bilingual. I failed.
exactly.
Exactly
hard.
what? It's freaking hard to speak French, all right?
It's
I know.
hard, okay?
So don't give me a hard time if sometimes I put the wrong order of the words in the.
Like when you shout Bruno for no reason in the middle of a podcast.
Cut me some slack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your
Yeah,
girl's
so
tired.
where the movie
In the
would be,
screen credit
in the movies,
movie.
yeah, post movies.
So imagine there's the screen like normal and then the seats. But for some reason, have you been in Genesis Cinema in the big screen?
Yeah, of course. I used to live there.
Okay. Well, I've never been in there. And there's a huge space between the screen and the first
set of
seat.
chairs.
And like not huge space as in like for a cinema, like as in it's like a stage, if you know what I mean. Like it's stage, like it would be it would be a pretty big stage if there was live performances on it.
Okay.
Which I was like, oh damn. Like I don't know why that's there or what they would use
Maybe
it
the
for.
converted Genesis was something else before and they converted it into a cinema screen.
That's smart. Yep. So yeah, it was actually pretty cool because like they had the battle floor there and people could obviously sit down and around the thing, but people could sit in the big comfy like cinema seats all the way up to
Question.
watch. Yeah.
Could you buy popcorn?
That would be sick, but no. Oh, actually, you may have been able to because the bar was open and stuff.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't see a popcorn
That would have been the
vendor.
sickest event.
Yeah.
Harry was saying that it was venues wise easily one of the best venues he's ever been to.
Yeah,
Ooh, big
I would agree. Like I always have this thing about events that like one of the most important factors of like the atmosphere and the feeling of your event is the venue because you know like when we had Studio B, we had a lot of events happen at Studio B, and it's great to have like an affordable community space to hold events in, and of course it's super necessary, but all of the events kind of feel the same.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's all set up the exact same way. It's the same location. There's no unique atmosphere to it, right? Yeah. Part of like UK champs used to be going to the Brixton O2 and like lining up outside. And besides concerts and stuff, you don't really go to any other battles, any other events, especially not dance events at the Brixton O2 Academy.
Yeah.
So that whole experience, even like going to the Nando's across the road, and that whole experience was part of it. Like part of Throwdown was Plan B. Like, so I think I'm always a fan of people trying to find new venues. Maybe before a lot of, I'd rather you do like less styles or something even and have a unique venue. Do you know what I mean? Whatever the sacrifice you have to make, because I think that's one of the top things that makes it's one of the most overlooked parts of running an event, I think.
Who were the people that ran this event?
A guy called Simon, who is
Simon.
Do you remember when we went to that battle that was under the bridge?
Yes.
And it was like
popped
the
for,
different
I only came for like a second.
Yeah, and Lee was there. Yeah, the
yeah.
guy who ran that, this is like his event as well.
Oh, sick.
He's I think like maybe Mechanical Generation Poppers.
Is he rich?
From here? Is he rich? I don't know. No, I imagine it's like Arts Council funded.
What's his financial situation?
Yeah, what's his financial
No, I imagine it's funded
You
somehow.
know what? The actually renting out a cinema screen isn't as expensive as it sounds.
Yeah, and that would make sense because they probably don't have that many showings like during the daytime.
It was like the whole day and evening and night. Like it went on.
But yeah,
Well,
private, you can like privately rent it out.
Yeah,
for
no,
not
after
that.
9 p.m.
Yeah.
I think. No.
Like if you take like 10 people, if like 10 people paid like,
Yeah.
I'm just pulling numbers
I
out my
mean,
arse, so there's no point in me saying this.
Also,
Sorry.
sometimes when you approach venues and you know there's a partnership, like sometimes if they make all the money on the bar, then they kind of
Yeah,
rent it to
maybe.
you
Yeah.
for cheaper.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Could be.
So I mean,
I would imagine there's some sort of financial backing, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he ran it all off his own.
Fine.
yeah, and also sometimes I feel like depending on the venue and whatever, but if you kind of build a relationship with them, sometimes then they give you really good deals.
Yeah.
Fair.
Free popcorn for everyone that enters.
That would be good.
Right. You know, that's right.
You know, that's right.
So yeah, it was pretty good. I like the vibes. I like the music. It was top 32 in hip hop and pop in, and they had 16 guests, which I think is cool
That's
because top. I mean, it would have been. I mean, I think the more people that can pass through prelims in an event, the better.
Yeah.
Like it's more exciting to watch. Like I'd rather watch battles all day than watch prelims. They suck. It's horrible.
Yeah.
The more people that feel like they're part of your, like I'd rather lose in the top 32 than not get through prelims and there's a top 8. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you don't feel like you achieved anything, even if you got one battle and you lost, or you won. You know, I think it is better to have a bigger thing. But even with 16 guests, it's like it's more opportunity for people to be a guest at a battle, which is always nice,
Yeah.
and to guarantee that you're like in the battles, and also you guarantee some type of level, because the problem is if you do top 32 and then there's like no one good that shows up.
Yes.
Like you kind of want some sort of, like, for the audience, you want to guarantee at least, all right, we definitely know we're going to have some good battles. So
Very good
with
point.
their invited guests, even if the only other people that came were like complete amateurs, those 16 guests would probably win their first round, and
Yeah.
then you've got at least exciting from the top 16
Yeah,
upwards
yeah,
for the
Event.
audience.
Audience, yeah.
One negative point
Go.
of
Tell them.
that I will say, no, there's maybe two negative points for the whole day, which is a fucking good ratio
Yeah.
for an event, because I've been plenty of events that aren't even in the positive. So the two things I'll say, one is that they switched kind of back and forth between going outside and inside, and it took a long time to, because they were using the same equipment and everything, so they had to take down all the speakers,
De-rig it
bring
and
it
rig it.
inside,
Oh, yeah.
which in their defense, I don't think they kind of planned it that way. I think it was like a last minute they were trying to adjust, which is fair. And, you know, things happen at events that you have to like compensate for, and you have to figure out a way around it. So I'm always forgiving with like those type of things.
Yeah.
Obviously, as an event organizer, you want to try and plan as far ahead as possible and try and foresee all of these issues, which I think makes a good organizer. You know, if you can foresee problems way in advance, and fix them before they happen, then yeah, obviously that's great. You know, this moving back and forth, I think it happened, like they moved it in and then they moved it back out, and I think it would have been fine if they just left it outside. The inside venue was beautiful, and I get if you've rented it you want to use it, but they could have left it outside and it would have been amazing. But yeah, it was nice to use both, but I just think the timing, even if they had done prelims outside and then moved inside, so we have a break and we know it was kind of in the middle, it was after the top 16,
Yeah.
before the top 8, and it was like a weird space.
Killed the flow.
A little bit. The other thing I will say is I fucking hate cypher prelims. I will say that, and I will stand behind that.
Where's my button?
Oh, here we go. Taking too long. Taking so too long.
Nice touchscreen.
Yeah. Okay. All of this for an instant reaction. There we go. A little hot, and I take a little hot take. Oh,
Say it again. I hate.
hate cypher prelims. Cypher prelims. Okay.
That's what happens when you have me on camera. You can't have it all, baby.
You didn't do the...
Can't do that on camera.
Well, I did. He hung me out to dry, man.
My
Wouldn't
mom.
be the first time.
Oh,
Oh, Lord. Guess who's coming? Timberland, a.k.a. Frickin' Fruit Drummer.
Cypher prelims.
So, I hate cypher prelims. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I hate cypher prelims. So, this happened at this event, and it is not exclusive to this event. It has happened in many other events that have done cypher prelims.
Tell us.
Tell them.
Everybody has a limited time to go in, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you have 20 or 30 people, right? you have a cipher prelim, and you give them 30 minutes to go in, which is what happened. I've been in some that have been an hour, some that have been 30, some that have been 45. Anyway, because there's no timekeeping in the prelims, people can take as long as they want.
Yeesh.
People can go in multiple times,
Yeesh.
which then makes other people feel stressed that they haven't had a chance to get in, because the whole point of a prelim is like you show your stuff to be able to pass through, right?
How many people were there? Did you say 20 to 30?
I would imagine at least 20,
And how long did the prelims go on for?
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
And almost everyone that went in multiple times.
Yeah, so they could have just done 1 minute per person. Okay, anyway, carry on.
Right.
Sorry
and
to
I think...
Stop your flow.
No, you're right. Like, this is the point. And I think the thing with Cypher prelims is like, it gets a bit crazy because then everybody just starts jumping in at the same time and it becomes a fight to who can stay in. And then everybody realizes, oh, I don't even have to get out. So it's not like, oh, who jumped in first? Ah, fair enough. You jumped in first. I'll get out and let you do your round. 2 people just stay in. And then when 2 people just stay in, everyone else goes, oh, you can just stay in and not let the other person out. So then 3 people go in, and then 4. And then towards the end, we have literally like 5 people dancing at the same time with other people trying to get in and out. And it's like, what the fuck is happening? Because nobody's dancing properly. The judges can't see. So how is this a fair way of selecting who gets through?
Yeah.
It's not enjoyable for us.
Yeah.
And if the point of Cypher prelims is for you to allow the dancers to dance in a Cypher situation, which is more like, let's say, organic, or like the way, you know, we tend to practice or tend to exchange, right? You want to keep it as close to the reality as possible.
Yeah.
That is not how any Cyphers happen ever, besides Cypher prelims.
Yeah.
So any Cypher in a club is like, there's no 4 or 5 people desperate to jump in and push.
Yeah.
I've been in very competitive Cyphers where you might not even get a chance to go in, or you might not get a chance to go in at all, or you might even get pushed out or told like, don't go in. Like I've had that happen to me before.
Someone told you not to go into a cypher?
Bro, I've had this by someone we know, but like, I get it. Like the context was different, but I've gone to jump in a cypher and someone's gone like that.
I would be like, good sir, remove your hand from my chest immediately, or feel the backhanded that cometh your way.
But listen, this is the thing, right?
Sorry.
But it's like, I get competitive. So, and in that situation, if I wanted to make it a thing, it's like, all right, cool. Well, I'm going to go in and now it's a cypher battle or whatever. And there's like ways you can respond or whatever.
Yeah.
The context of that was more like, we're warming up for a battle and you're not competing today, so just let us.
Okay.
Which I kind of was like, yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
But
Then touch me again, sir.
yeah. That's what they did. No, so basically, it doesn't. I've been in competitive cyphers where it's hard to jump in, but usually it's like, oh, you don't get to jump in, and somebody takes, like, you go in, especially like break-in cyphers, like they go in and they go and do their round, and it's like, oh shit, I have to get out of the way. It's very rare that people are doing this whole, like, unless it's like an exchange where we want to do a little something together in the cypher, right?
Did it make you feel like you were 12 years old again?
Bro, I get so pissy during these ciphers. I went in my first round, and someone was in with me and stayed in for my entire round, and I was like, well, I'm not leaving, so you can. I just did my round and not paying any. I didn't even exchange. I just did my round to the front.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were in a UDO?
I literally said that at the end. I was like, this is a fucking UDO. Like, everybody's just dancing at the same time, and the judges have to pick who it is. It's like, we're all grown-ups. Can we not take turns?
I have a question for you. Have you ever been in a cypher prelim that you've like relatively enjoyed?
Yes. Groovenometry.
Okay. And what makes that more enjoyable?
Glad you asked. The why I liked Groovenometry is because they had the whole venue, right? It was like a whole big downstairs space, right, where all the audience were going to be and everything. And not just like the one battle square, which was where this was set up, is like just in the battle square, like there's like 20 or 30 people closed in. Like Groovenometry took the whole space and just said, everybody in the space go and cypher, and then if the judges will walk around, and if they like what they see, they'll give you a medal.
Okay.
Equally, you could say it's not a fair way of prelim because the judges aren't watching everybody equally, blah, blah. But the ciphers were organic.
Yeah.
So much so that the reason I got through in Groovonometry Pop-In was by accident because I was filming and doing pods upstairs. I wasn't planning on entering at all. I didn't think I was going to enter. I didn't want to enter. I didn't.
You just came down to Cypher.
I just came down and the music happened to be. It had already started for like 10 minutes and it was like an hour or something long. And I was like, oh, cool. I'll do a few rounds. I didn't even dance for the full hour. I just jumped in because I was like, oh yeah, I need to like shake it off a bit. I've been sitting down all day. Let me just move a bit. And it just so happens that one of the judges walked past and saw me pop in, and it just so happens I'm alright. No, and then so I got a thing. I got a
That was your medal.
A medallion.
medallion to get through, right?
Yeah.
So that was like, that shows how organic the space is. That it's
Yeah.
just like people were in there who didn't even want to really enter, and it wasn't just me that danced, not necessarily choosing to enter. You know what I mean? Like they didn't sign up and say I'm entering prelims. They would just happen to be ciphering.
Yeah.
And then you do or don't get picked, right?
Also,
that's
aren't the judges like, you don't know who they are?
Yeah, in Groovonometry you don't know who the judges are. So there's people that are entering the ciphers as well.
As a judge.
Yeah,
to
and you
throw
don't know
one
until
off.
they come up to you discreetly and say, here's your thing you passed
They
through.
say, listen, don't
Which
tell anyone. all right?
I don't think it's like, you know, if we're talking like Olympic standard judging, it's not like the fairest way, but it is the most organic way
For ciphers.
to enter. Because also the thing is, what I liked about that, right, was like, in this, I was fighting to jump in and the judges are right in front of me and I'm like, got to show them. So if someone gets in front of me, it's annoying. But with that, I was like, I don't know who the judges are. I don't even know when they're here. So my only option is to just dance
good.
and have fun. And it was like, I just chose the cypher where my friends were. And I was like ciphering with like Harry and someone else. And then me and Lewis just went, just the two of us, I think, and we're ciphering or whatever. But yeah, I'm just there having fun because there's no other option. So it's almost like you're forced to enjoy it in order to get through. And just dance well in all the ciphers. So actually just walking around, you're like, oh, this is actually sick. Like everybody's dancing really well and not stressed because you don't know if and when the judges are going to walk past. So you might as well just take your time in or whatever.
I think that this is just like testament to like, if you can, not necessarily like to pit them against each other, but I think that with event producing and producing in general is like saying, oh, something is just going to be organic is like not enough, you know, in a sense that like you really need to think through like the experience for it to be more seamless and for like these little bugs not to happen. Because for example, I'm sure Groovonometry, maybe one time they did it, and then when people know who the judges are, then it really changes how people behave when one of the judges is in the cipher. So if you want it to be like, okay, just encourage people to give the best that they can for 1 hour, it's like, okay, well, if they don't know, then it doesn't make a difference who's there, and then the goal is just to dance really good for as long as possible, you know. But I think these things like really have to be thought through. Also kind of, okay, if you want to do cipher prelims, if you have all the judges in one cipher, then thinking, okay, how are people gonna act? Like you have to and I'm not saying that the person who organized this doesn't, but I just think that whether you run an event for the first time or, you know, a few times, it's like really taking into consideration the experience of the people who are there and fixing those things and really thinking from their perspective, like not just, okay, 30-minute prelims, the judges will have time to see everybody. And for sure, they're going to be able to pick a top 16. For sure, there's going to be 16 people that are good. Is like, yes, that's probably going to happen, but also it might not be that enjoyable for the people doing it. So I think when you really, you know, if you think, okay, well, maybe if you have multiple ciphers and the judges walk around, maybe that will give people more space to dance and people won't have to go at the same time. And, you know, I mean, I think there's a lot to it. But if you want to do like, and, you know, I think in a sense it's good to want to do things different, you know, to not just say, oh, okay, there's a format and everybody does the same format, but to try to change, to try to do something differently. But then you really have to think through like all the steps of the experience, and not just the experience of the judge or the people you're hiring, but the experience of the people entering, the experience of the people who are there as spectators, the experience of the staff, like just everybody involved. And that is like why being a producer is difficult, I think.
Come on, big producer, tell him.
Big producer energy.
So did you yell at
EP.
anyone in the cipher? Please
Yes.
tell me you yelled. Yes. I'm so.
I'm such a
gutted I
mouthy
didn't
shit when
come.
I'm pissed off in
Oh
ciphers.
no, I'm so
Just
upset
when
I
you're
didn't
pissed off
come.
in ciphers.
What did you say?
Just when you're pissed off in ciphers.
Well, you do have a podcast, so
Yeah, that's true.
I'm so pissed off I didn't get to go.
No, you know
happened?
what? Like it was like nothing. Like I wasn't actually angry with people, but like there was one guy that I did shout in his face, but we spoke after it. It was fine. Like he wasn't even pissed at the time; he was laughing. But like the first time I went in, I was dancing, and then I was talking while I was dancing. Then I was like, for fuck's sake, can I just do my round? And then I jumped in again, and then another guy jumped in at the same time as me, and I was like, you know what, go for it, mate, and I like, let him go.
Yeah.
And then I think it's like 4 times I entered, but I only had like 3 rounds, and they were every round of mine there was someone dancing with me. I didn't get one round to myself. So then the 3rd time I think I went in and I was just like, just complaining while I was dancing or whatever. And then and then there was someone with me. The last time there was a guy, because there was these 3 guys from Switzerland, actually, like super nice guys, really good poppers as well. I forget all of their names actually. But so they're like, imagine there's 3 of them on this side, and it's like the one closest to me kept seeing me like get frustrated. So he's kind of like caught eyes with me, and he was like, go next. I'll help you out. And I was like, this is fucking super nice. And he hadn't even, I don't even know if he'd gone in yet or whatever. It was just a really nice, like, and especially because he's not from here, doesn't know anyone. So that was like super nice anyway. So he was like, go in next. And I was like, thank you so much. And then I was trying to go, and then like someone else was like edging in, and he was kind of looking at me like, yeah, do it. So then they happened to like split or something, and I had a moment, and I jumped in, got the space, and his boy, who was like two up from him, jumped in and just started popping in my face, facing me.
He set you up.
He
Set you up. That's what I would do. I'd be like, go in next. I just told this guy to go in. Yo, when he goes in, just fuck him up, bro.
Oh, I thought that you were gonna be like, the guy was like, go, and then when you went, he would go.
You went,
no, but his boy like jumped and like just started popping in my face, and I literally like from this class I just went, bro. and then he like, to his credit, he kind of like, I feel bad because he kind of started like doing like a little like, join in with me and doing like little dime stops and stuff, like do it with me kind of thing. And I did, but then I was kind of like, okay, but now can I
I did the dime stop thing. Now get out of the way.
Yeah, because I was and then we spoke afterwards, and he wasn't like it wasn't an aggressive confrontation. It was like we were laughing about it. But I was pissed, and then towards the end I was like just standing on the side, just being like, this is a fucking UDO, like what's going on? I hate this. But
beautiful.
Yeah, I just think it's like it doesn't work, and it's not pleasurable for anyone. It's not fun for the judges or easy for them to judge. It does, no one enjoys that type of cipher. The Groovonometry one, I would say a lot of people enjoyed because of how, the whole space, and you have loads of different ciphers. I also remember, like you were saying about learning from the thing, Groovonometry did do before a 1 cipher prelim. I think, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I was at one of their first events or second that did that.
And then they realized that it didn't go so well.
Yeah, which is like, totally fine. And I'm not like cussing out the organizer, like they shouldn't have done it. It's like cool, and like if you recognize, and you recognize that people weren't happy, because it wasn't just me. It was quite a few people that weren't happy with this. And I don't know about the hip hop.
Speaking for the people.
Yeah, and maybe the breaking was a bit better because there was less people, but it was a bit silly with the pop-in.
But also, if you travel down from far away and like that's your experience, and you don't make through pre-selection because 50 people jumped in the cipher, when you were doing your round, you'd be like, bruv.
And if you did jump in, but you couldn't do a proper round because someone's dancing
in your face.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like people probably didn't do that for breaking because it's very dangerous. You might eat a foot.
Well, true. But yeah, that's the only negative really of that event was that thing. I think like the way the venue was really nice, and that helped a lot. The hot weather helped because it was outside. And stuff.
Were people melting?
Summertime.
I think
no issues with heat, like heat strokes or anything like that. Because if there's alcohol,
I don't think so. I don't think so. I felt bad for George because he wore his jacket.
George.
G-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to
Why did you
G-Man.
wear... bruv, Londoners, like specifically...
Men's not hot.
Mandem. Specifically black brothers wearing... I just see you and I'm just like... bro, what are you doing, man? Like, I went out when we had the 40 degrees weather, and there was a Rasta man, and I heard him say, Jesus Christ, it's hot, you know. And I was like, yeah, it is, bruv. And then I looked at him and I was like, you're wearing a zipped up jumper with a Rastafarian fucking beanie hat. Like, what are you doing?
Of course you're hot.
You're hot. Just wear a tank top, man.
But
No,
maybe man's not hot.
Yeah, no, George
He
was hot.
was hot.
No, because I was kind of laughing at him, like, bro, you're not going to wear the coat. But he was like, in his defense, he was like, I just like, he's like, I prefer how I dance with it on, and I don't like not dancing.
Fair
which
enough,
I get,
bro.
you know,
but you're going to sweat out and you're going to
I told him, bro, go get some water.
And go
Don't get
shower.
heat stroke. Yeah.
Did he stink?
I don't think he stinked.
Did you stand near? Did you stand near him?
I did
near the end of the
stand near
day.
him toward. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
He's being very
Well,
nice.
he did
Yeah.
good with the deodorant and with the popping.
Well done, because there's definitely people that are topless or in t-shirts that fucking smell like trash sometimes.
Yeah,
like
true.
beef.
No, but I think he only
beef.
wore his coat for the battles.
Like beef.
That was fun. Like, Kane was like, Kane was like, bro, you know it's hot because George took his jacket off.
Oh, did he take his jacket off?
I know, but I think it was like before he entered, and then he put it on when he was entering.
Yeah.
No, but everyone did sick. Everyone, like, the fucking battles were cool from the ones I saw. I didn't watch everything, but
He's got a jacket that's like a fucking Arctic jacket as well, if I recall.
yeah, it's not a light jacket.
It's got a lot of pockets.
There were some people that came from France and from Switzerland.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was cool. I think, what else?
You reckon because of the international judge?
Internet.
Yeah, probably. Well, and just because it's like top 32 and it was in a nice venue and stuff, I think it attracts people.
Yeah.
Because maybe they did a good job with advertising as well. I don't know.
Well done.
How they got it out there. But yeah, I think it was cool. I think, yeah, I think in general it was pretty cool.
I can't remember why I wasn't. Oh, I do remember.
Because
why
you
I
were
wasn't there.
busy being famous.
No, it was my uncle's fiance's birthday, so
Oh.
I was being a good family member.
That's fine.
Wow.
I just have a lovely time,
Wow.
but if it was up to me, I definitely would have come to that event because that looked fucking tight.
Yeah, it was quite. I did quite like that cinema energy. I like having somewhere to sit to watch a battle.
Yeah,
I hate like
same.
having to
Sitting
crouch
on
on
the
the floor.
floor.
Yeah,
comfy
no.
seats. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
elevated. It's all tiered and elevated, so you don't have to go. Fuck.
Yeah, especially for the people who aren't like hardcore battleheads. Like for the most of the pop in, I was down by the side and stuff.
Yeah,
But it's
'cause
like,
you were top 8, bro.
do you know? I mean, even after I lost.
to you, bruv.
But yeah, even when I wasn't, even for the people who weren't part of that, it's nice to just fucking sit down and watch a battle and actually enjoy it. And I think actually I've said this before, but like that's how you get more out of an audience in terms of them cheering and it's like make them comfortable.
So who didn't make top 8 that was sick in popping?
Who didn't make top 8?
Yeah.
Dang. What a harsh question.
I actually don't know.
Really?
It would be who lost outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lost
who lost
outside.
outside?
I can't. Did Motherfunk lose outside? No. She went inside. She
what she
got
said.
knocked out by Chase. Oh, Chase came back.
Chase!
Chase, welcome
Chase,
back.
yeah, Chase, and he had some good fucking
Oh, bro,
rounds.
that's
That was cool.
pissed me off. Yeah. I liked seeing Chase pop.
I mean,
like.
I feel like I don't see him for years and then see him and he's like, oh yeah, he's always fucking sick.
him, Harry.
Him and Harry
It's
was
just
a
him
good.
and Harry.
That was a
Him
good
and
duo.
Harry have like not just them two as a duo, but the way they dance. It's hard to describe. The only way I can describe it is when you watch Crumpers Crump and you're like, what the? Like, it gives you that energy. When those two dance, you definitely feel like
I forgot about
Fucking
that
go on then,
that
son.
dynamic duo though. That was a sick.
Harry and Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who actually had a surprisingly consistent level from when he last battled was Mind Trick. Do you remember watching Mind Trick?
I don't know who Mind Trick is.
Matthew Mind Trick. He had a lot of good like animation-y type things and like waves and stuff.
I beat him once. Huh?
Did you?
Hey, that means you bet them.
Oh yeah. By the way, speaking of like people who are better than people because they beat them,
I didn't say that.
this
but
guy. Do you recognize him?
Is he in your kitchen?
That's not my kitchen. It doesn't kind of look like.
I've never seen him before.
Oh, really good man. And he just hasn't battled for ages.
He
or-
must have been in, maybe when I stopped dancing, he started dancing.
Yeah, it could be. So you know Link and
from Elite Four.
Ruggeds, Lee Ruggeds won.
Yeah.
They won. What did they win? World Thingy Championship.
Yes.
I didn't know that, but that's cool.
Yeah. So I beat Link in hip hop before ages ago.
Wait.
So does that
who's
mean
Link? Who's
I
Link?
won?
Who's Link?
He's a b-boy, but he also did
Okay.
hip hop and won.
That means you won that event, yeah.
Yeah. Them,
Yeah, and
that's
they
exactly.
they beat Sunny and Karam.
Yeah, so you're better
in
than
the
Sunny
first round. So I'm better. And
Bruv, I'm so excited for the Olympics, bruv.
yeah, me too. Actually,
I didn't actually realise this until
I'm
when
glad
we
you
went
took that into a sensible topic.
when
yeah.
we went to B-Boy Champs. Like, when we went to B-Boy Champs,
Yes. When we
the
went to B-Boy Champs.
the like, especially like when it was the sickest people battling, I was like, this is fucking sick, and that's gonna be everyone
yeah.
for the majority of the Olympics, because you're representing your country and only the sickest people are going to be representing their country. And I just can't wait for people who aren't dancers to be like, yo, you know, you like watching the Olympics and sometimes you watch shot put or whatever, or javelin or whatever, don't miss breaking.
Yeah.
Because I showed, Gavin came around mine after we came back from B-Boy Champs and looked at, like, I think it was like maybe that trailer, the Undisputed trailer for it.
Yeah.
And he was like, what the fuck, what's this? It like blew him away, man. And I was like,
Sick.
like we take it for granted because we see it all the time. We're like, yeah, this is like high level breaking, but we've seen it, man. Like, for people that don't know anything about dance, see someone do a backflip and they're like, whoa.
Yeah, so if you see fucking Lee from Rugged,
yeah, man,
you're like, what the fuck am
you're
I
gonna be
watching?
like, this is dope, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And it's going to be cool to like see it with like, I don't know, like commentary and like all the graphics and like figuring out who's, you know what I mean? So you can like sit and watch it on TV. Because I like watching the live streams anyway.
Yeah.
Let alone if it's like the live Olympic coverage.
I'm gonna be telling my mum, yo, watch
Yeah, definitely.
breaking. Like, the next generation of kids, the kids who watch that are gonna be like, I can do that as an Olympic. Like, I don't have to be an Olympic swimmer. No, dad, bun swimming. Put the swimming cap away.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really, it's already interesting to see the effects of the Olympics being announced, let alone when it actually happens and like it's on TV and you know what I mean?
Do
And,
they
like,
do skating?
skateboarding, yeah. They
As
did
an
it this
Olympic
year. Yeah.
event? They did it this year.
I think, was this year the first year? Or second? Let me check. But yeah, they definitely did it this year because I remember watching some of it.
That's it. It's cool that they're making, like, I don't know, cool sports.
And also,
Not that the other
congrats,
sports are
Vanessa
cool.
won also, no? In UK
So
news.
the way the World Breaking Championship works, I'm pretty sure that's the name of the event, is they have like an open qualifiers, right? Like a kind of normal prelim. But they also have a B-girl battle
Yeah.
for one of the slots.
Okay, so like a last chance qualifier.
Kind of. So it's like, let's say they have an invited, do they have an invited 8 or 16 or whatever? So let's for example, say you have an invited 8, right? Then you have 7 open slots and you do a open quality. So it can be guys, girls, whoever. And they choose out of that 7.
Yeah.
Separate to that prelim, they do an entire 2 versus 2 B-girl battle. And the winner of that gets the 8th spot in the finals.
Inclusivity.
So you guarantee that there's a B-girl 2 and 2. Like they could qualify in the normal one, as far as I know. But also there's guaranteed a pair there. And actually Vanessa's been twice in the winner of that and in the thing. So she won with Roxy and now she won with B-girl India.
Both of those are her best friends and they train together. In case you didn't know.
Everybody is friends with Vanessa and they train with her. Basically.
I train with Vanessa. We're best mates.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And in other breaking news, I'm now a member of Primal Instincts.
Way!
So
breaking news. Breaking news. You know?
Breaking news.
That's the name of the segment.
Breaking news. That's what you're going to get now that I'm in Primal Instincts. So guys, my question to you is, what rules should I implement? I think Spin has to always battle topless.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. You're welcome.
With
You're welcome.
boxing gloves on.
Okay. That's a strange twist. But
12-ounce gloves.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
Cool. So Spin, that's your rules. What else?
Who else is in Primal Instincts?
There's a lot of really good people. Lightfoot, B-Boy Aelion.
Who else that I know?
You might know Tom Malone. Used to be in Soul Mavs.
Oh yeah, he does the goggle box.
Yeah.
Google box.
There we go.
Google box.
You should Google Gogglebox.
Did he do Gogglebox?
Yeah.
That's it.
So hopefully he reposts this and then loads of people on his platform start watching the capsule. Thanks.
Watch the capsule on Gogglebox.
And then we'll react to you watching the capsule on.
What if we
So
react
meta,
to him
man.
and then he reacts to us reacting to him?
Whoa, reacception.
Reaction.
These two go out.
You saw Primal Instincts when we went to UK Champs.
Yeah.
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 Stephanie, Solid.
Yeah.
Solid is the one that, thank you so much for allowing me to be in Primal Instinct. She's the one that actually accepted me in, so that's super nice. Sheku. Yeah, they've got a really
I think I
fucking
only
good
know
crew.
Spin though.
Yeah, like personally, I think you probably only know Spin. Yeah, so that's
Spin never put me in fucking. What's wrong with you, Spin, bro? Why am I not in Primal Instincts?
Instincts, because that's why you're not in
'Cause you
Primal
can't say
Instincts,
it.
because you can't say it. Yeah,
Is there?
we should make another crew called
I know why I'm not in Primal Instincts.
Primal Pop Stinks.
There's no blackies in there, is there?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, maybe there isn't.
Yeah, it's not. I knew it.
All right,
You
wait, let's have a look at
claim you. I'll tell you what. But in Primal Instincts, I know you're gay, Spin.
That's the reason you're not in it. Is it not because you can't do a 6-step?
Play the black card. If you're losing in a battle, just fling it out.
And now they're forced, they're guilt tripped
black
into
in,
to put you in. Say no.
So we have to get a black guy quick. Who's good at breaking in black? Put him in. There's no blackies, is there?
AJ.
AJ.
Yeah.
Let me see what AJ looks like.
You know AJ.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you definitely.
Oh, the
know.
Cypher Cat.
No,
No, then no.
AJ 47.
From Soul Mavs.
Yeah,
Oh, AJ so easy. Yeah, all right.
there you go. So now you got no excuse. Now
He's
why?
back, yeah.
Yeah. So now why are you not in Primal Instincts?
There's a
It's 'cause they're
melanin
jealous.
cut off. There's a melanin cut off in Primal Instincts. That's why.
Okay.
I don't really care. I don't want to be in fucking Primal Stinks.
I kind of do.
Fuck your crew. Your crew suck.
It's like, hey, I didn't say that. Actually, wait. Stop insulting my crew.
Nah, fuck your crew, man.
Stop insulting my
Me,
name.
Vanessa,
my name
and
crew.
Jenny are gonna make a crew called the Best Friends.
Yeah.
Crew, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick.
Come, Jen, let's take them out, bruv.
Yeah, no problem.
When you start your cipher, I'm just gonna dance in your face and go, ah!
Yeah, and I did a windmill once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you actually?
yeah.
I don't believe you.
I worked so hard on it for a year, and then I got one windmill.
Did you?
Yeah, and then
I thought you were just chatting
no,
shit. Go on.
and then the b-boy that I was training with was like, "That's really good." Now getting from 1 to 2 is even harder than getting from 0 to 1, and I was like, I don't have time for this.
Do you know how hard?
Like
I've
I've
been
been
working.
working so hard. Gravity is such a strong force.
It is such a strong force.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have told you that. I would have just gassed you up and been like, yeah,
Yeah.
man, you can do
Well,
it.
wait. Like he probably got a bit scared and was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah,
better,
yeah.
better kill her dreams now.
Could he do a windmill?
Yeah, he could do multiple windmills. But he was like, oh yeah, getting from, yeah.
What
Like
do you
the
do if
transition.
that was like his way to try and like chat you up? He was like, yeah, it's even harder. So now you know how fucking sexy I am. And you were like, fuck this. I'm gone. And he was like, oh,
He's like, "Oh fuck, I
that
fucked
didn't
it."
work the way I thought it was going to work.
No, but breaking was just a side adventure anyways.
Yeah.
Side mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just
Um,
collecting
Breaking's not
backpacks.
cool anyway. It's not like something.
No, it is really, it is like such a dope. I think if, that's what I said when I was doing it. It was like, if I was to start another style and really invest myself, I think breaking would be it. But it's just, it's really hard.
Yeah, I'd probably do house.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which
Sick.
is interesting because I don't really like the music that much.
Yeah, but you like this dance style.
I like moving my feet
Fair.
Oh.
to the beat.
Yeah, no, shout out to Primal Instincts, we love you. And yeah. And also, just a side note, B-Girl Solid came up with the best name for the podcast.
What's it
ever.
called?
She called this podcast my Chatty Shitty Room.
Chatty Shitty Room.
Yeah, she said now you can
Isn't it
invite.
shitty chatty room?
Was it Shitty Chatty Room?
Is she Italian?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such an Italian name.
She's like, now you can invite us on your Shitty Chatty Room.
Now you can do it on the Shitty Chatty.
Yeah, that is how I read it
The
actually.
Shitty Chatty room. We are back.
Which is brilliant. I love that name for this. It's just so like dismissive.
Welcome to the Shitty Chatty room, everyone.
Like, you know your little fucking Shitty Chatty Room that you do.
Go on, don't you have a Shitty Chatty episode to do? Go on, fuck off, mate.
It made me laugh so much. I feel like it's like, if that was meant to be offensive, it would be so it would hurt my feelings so much. But
See.
because it was a joke, it made me laugh so much.
See.
I love stuff like that. Anyway,
So you're gonna get a shirt with graffiti on it?
I should. That says.
Do you have to that says Shitty Chatty room?
Yeah.
Do you have to be able to do graffiti to be in Primal Instincts?
Yes.
I think you have to be able to do
Cut
it
hair.
at a bit more break-in than I can do to be
Yeah.
in Primal Instincts.
Well, don't say that now.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
I'm
in.
way better. Oh yeah,
You're
yeah.
in.
Well, I'm gonna be the popper of the crew.
Oh,
You're basically
sick.
Mr. Wiggles.
Yeah.
Sick.
That's what I said to them. I should be the because then what are they going to do? At the moment, they're defenseless.
Yeah, in
If-
popping.
Yeah. What if Primal Instincts enter a break-in battle and then a fucking popper comes out and they're all just shitting
What are they
themselves?
gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
You need me.
You'll go and you'll just whisper in B-Girl Solid's ear, Shitty chat room's got this.
Yeah, exactly.
Take 5.
And I'll come out and I'll be like,
KJ.
boom, and then
Electric
get to top 8 and lose.
baby. Hey man, top 8 is pretty good. It's more than all the other people who didn't make top 8 could say.
Jeez.
I don't think Harry made top 8, did he?
Who did he lose to? Harry lost to Kazuya. Maybe same round as me.
Mate.
Yeah, no, I think because I lost. What did I lose in the top 8? Yeah, so I think Harry lost in the top 8.
Oh,
with me.
fair enough, mate.
Yeah.
I'll let you off.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
He danced really nice.
Did he?
Actually. Yeah.
He did. I saw some of his rounds. Actually, that's why I was talking to him, because I looked at his story.
Yeah.
And someone put up one of his rounds, and I was like, mate, you fucking look like you're giving it there, son.
Yeah,
He
did-
was like,
did some nice
mate,
rounds.
listen, I'm happy Chasey boy was there. That's
Yeah.
what he said. I love Chase.
Lucia had at least like 2 good rounds that I saw. She might have battled one I didn't
Yeah,
see.
she had
but
some tough rounds.
the one round in particular I really liked.
Get it.
Taiwo's rounds looked tough.
Yeah. Everyone like I think the music was fairly good. I didn't love it in the prelims. It was a bit slow.
Yeah.
But also that's because it was a fucking mess.
Who
And then
DJ'd the prelims?
I think it was Billy all the way through.
Billy Buttons.
But the battles in the music in the battles was fire.
Well done.
And I think also there was an event on the same day. There was a breaking event in Bournemouth. So I think some of the there was like maybe split. That's why some of the breakers went to Bournemouth.
And
What was that event?
It was called Vile Style. It's run by Second to None, who
Vile
are
Style.
a legendary UK b-boy crew.
Legendary.
They're like one of the older generation of b-boys in the UK. Second to None.
Fair enough.
So yeah, shout out to everyone. Thoughts and prayers to everyone involved.
Why thoughts and prayers?
Huh?
Why thoughts and
I don't know.
prayers?
It's just something that they used to say on the Joe Budden thing.
Oh.
So what else? Wait a minute. What else is happening in life?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Let me put my- We definitely segued into 15,000
so many
different
topics.
things
Yeah.
and then went back into the original topic.
Yeah.
It's beautiful how we did
That's
that.
what they call a full circle.
And that's what they call a full circle. Speaking of audience questions, Tally wrote in a question.
Talladega Nights.
Even if she's not here, she wanted us to discuss, as she put it, the standoff in the beginning of battles / dick swinging contest.
Oh.
What does she mean by that?
When people, neither of them
Swing
want to go
their
first.
dick.
Want to go first?
Yeah, and it also kind of
Right.
ties into a status that Manny made about people wanting to go second or something that I thought was quite interesting.
Right.
But just the fact that like it's kind of the done thing to like fight to go second in a battle.
Yeah.
When it's like, is it really that big of an advantage that it's worth waiting that long?
I have one pet peeve though, I have
Go.
to say, because you just brought it up. You know when people have a Mexican standoff or whatever
Yeah.
it's called.
Racist.
But they stand,
Racist,
yeah. And then they're like, I'm not going. And then everybody gets sick of it. And then they spin the bottle. And then whoever it lands on, they're like, I got this. And it's like, no, you don't get to have the attitude
Yeah,
of like,
yeah,
I got
yeah,
this.
yeah.
When you made everybody wait.
Do you want me to go one better?
Go on.
In terms of pet peeves. When you make everyone wait, you don't want to go, they spin the bottle, it chooses you, and then you call the other person a chicken.
Oh, really? People do that?
Yeah, they go, you chicken, you didn't want to go first. It's like, well, you didn't
You did.
either.
You went because a bottle told you to, you
Yeah.
fucking douche.
What if the bottle told you to jump over a bridge?
Would you do it? Yeah. Would you do it, you fucking... Would you do that when you jump off the bridge, you fucking idiot?
Not over the bridge, but off a bridge. You know what
Jump
I meant?
over a bridge?
That's
Off
pretty
a bridge.
athletic.
You know what I meant?
Depends how high the bridge is.
Post-scene movie bridge.
Listen.
Yeah, no, that's annoying. I think, yeah... I was going to say, like, it makes sense if, like, you haven't heard the track before and you're like, bro, please go, because I don't know what this track
Yeah.
is and I want to try and learn. But most of it is like, yeah, no, you go, bro, because I don't want to... You set the bar and I'll try and smash it.
But is that much of an
But I
advantage?
don't know. When I went, I didn't really care about that shit. The only time I would be like, you go first, maybe, is if I'm like, bruv, you just got here, you go first, bruv. Like, I've been doing this for a while.
So one
You
thing
go.
that Manny had in his status that he thinks the organisers and MC should implement is if the battle that you're in, if you have won it before or you've beaten the person you're battling the last time you battled,
then that person
they
should go first. Yeah,
and it
100%.
should be like, he said it should be enforced.
You know, there was a thing once at a battle that I was at. It was like, you have 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And if nobody goes in, you're both out.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah,
I just
yeah.
go first.
Bruv, it's not that. Yeah, bruv.
And also, I feel like at one point when you stand off for too long, it's like you're trying to make a point, and then you kind of have to overcommit to the point that you've made it a point not to go. So then you're both in this situation, and then it just ends up that it gets so long that it kills the vibe for.
Yeah.
So I think that when you let it get there, it's like you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot just because it's killing the atmosphere.
This is not boxing. It's not a fucking UFC fight. You're not going to lose the mental war game because you went first.
I think if I know I'm going to win,
Treat.
I will give the other person the choice. So like usually they expect something, and I'm like, let's say 8 times out of 10, if I'm like, I've got this one, I'll be like, do you want to go or should I go?
You will die anyway. Do you want the gun or do you want the knife?
Yeah.
Choose which way you want to die.
But yeah, I'll say, do you want to go first? Or like, I'll kind of signal. And sometimes they go, or sometimes they'll be like, no, you go. And I'm like, okay, cool. Are you
It's
alright?
like, do you want to lose when you dance first, or you want to lose when you dance second?
Yeah. Like if I know I've got it, and I know, and they know I've got it, it's like,
Tell me.
but also conversely, if I know I'm going to lose,
Yeah.
I will 9 times out of 10 go first.
Go first, yeah.
Because I'm like, why am I wasting everybody's time just to lose? Which I think is fucking way more embarrassing because you've got 2 people, one of whom, and you have to know if it's even a little bit close, it's like, all right, then you stop playing the games. Well,
Just laughing away from the mic so you can talk.
okay. But yeah, anytime I'm like, oh, I'm dead. Like it's like if I'm battling like Brooke and Poppin now or something, it's like, all right, I might think I still want to do a good round.
Don't need that.
No, but listen, let me tell you. If I'm like, let's say if I'm battling someone like Brooke or Breaks or these type of people that I think, or even someone like Harry, who I still want to give them my best round.
Yeah, you do.
But I don't need, because put it like this, I think the advantage of going second is in this B-boy mentality of having certain rounds, right?
Yes.
So I've got certain blow-ups and certain rounds that I want to save.
Yeah.
If you get to go first, I can choose,
which round to
I can,
pull out.
like, let's say Abe goes first. I'm like, right, I can beat Abe without using this blow-up that I've saved that will help me later on, right?
Yeah.
Or I can say, shit, I don't know the song and he's just on a fire round. Let me pull out that shit. Going second allows you the choice to use up certain things or save them for later on. First of all, if you're not a blow-up dancer, like, you know what I mean? If you just freestyle and you're just a dancer, like mechanical type of person, you don't need to go second because you're going to just dance to the song no matter what.
That makes more sense,
Right? Second of all, if I'm going to go up against Brooke or Breaks or these people that I consider better than me, I still want to give them my best round. I'm like, if I got lucky and won, then fucking fantastic. But if I'm no, this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not like putting myself down because my decision in that moment is no matter what happens, I'm giving you my best round I can possibly do.
Okay.
So even if I think I might have a chance to win or whatever, if I've made the decision in my head of, for whatever reason, it can be that I don't like the person.
Yeah.
It can be that I just want to beat them for the sake of beating them.
Yeah.
It can be that I think they're so good that I need to give them my best round with all my stuff in it in order to even have a chance of beating them. And if that's the case, I'll go first because it doesn't matter what you do.
Tell
I
'em.
still need to give you my best round.
Give it to him.
Does that make sense?
Also, like, you go out first and you can put a fire round, even if, let's say, it's someone that you're like, oh, they're probably going to beat me. Bro, the mental stress that's on them when you're out doing your round is like, fuck, this is actually pretty sick, man. Oh.
And you can choose. I mean, this isn't, I don't know how much people judge on like responding or whatever, but you can choose how to set the bar if you go first.
Yeah.
So if, let's say, someone like Mechanical, right?
Yeah.
Who is a great dancer, has a lot of technique and foundation that I don't have, right? But let's say like I use stuff that he doesn't use as much. So like I use like waves and like lines and this type of stuff, which he uses less. If I go first, I can choose to set the bar being like, here's all my sickest waves and right. It may not work, but this would be like a tactic. It's
but
like,
you can kind of make him respond to that.
exactly.
Yeah.
It may be like sometimes it doesn't work and people just, they know what they're doing. And obviously Mechanical's pretty experienced, so maybe he wouldn't respond.
He's drawing you out, Mechanical.
Yeah. But sometimes like you can draw people into playing your game knowing that they're going to lose. It's like, oh, you're an amazing, let's say you're amazing at floor work, right? But what I need to do is make you forget that you're amazing at floor work. So I'm going to go out first and do all like waves and top style, like intricate stuff. And you're going to try and respond back to me and forget that you can smoke me just by going on the floor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's advantages to both, but I think people are just, you know, it's like, oh, this is just the dumb thing. We just fight to go second. I don't know why. I just do it. Like,
I saw people do it once on a cereal box. Yeah, it's stupid.
I think that's the case.
Okay, so Tally's question was,
Like, what's the point of the standoffs? What do we
right.
think about these standoffs? So that's
We
kind
think
of
it's stupid.
It's
To
a-
be fair, like she's asked like the 3 people that would probably don't care to go first.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, it's maturity and confidence.
Or am I speaking for you, Jen? Are you one of the people that?
Do you care about
wait
going
second?
first or second if you battle him?
Not really. I don't even really battle.
Yeah.
anymore.
I think sometimes you can.
Yeah, why not?
I haven't been training.
So you can
So-
still throw down your freestyle.
How about
man.
you fucking ask yourself that question?
Yeah, woo!
Don't
Hey,
be
boy.
throwing
Hey.
stones in a glass house that doesn't enter
hey,
battles.
You know what? You tell me when you enter a battle, and
Yeah.
I'll come enter with
if
you.
your glass house doesn't enter a battle, then
Yeah.
don't throw stones at the judges.
Well, maybe I
What?
will enter a battle.
Oh!
If I enter a battle, you have to enter it as
Okay.
well. That's the deal.
Okay.
The next battle I enter, you have to enter as well.
Okay.
Firehouse, 7th of August.
Firehouse 7th of August. Is that the next battle?
Am I even here?
Firehouse, 7th of August
you
is the
here?
Kingdoms League. Do you know what would be hilarious? Guys, can I tell you what would be hilarious?
If
on.
I won the Kingdoms League.
Yes, and let me tell you why. Because it's the last 2 events of the Kingdom League, and people are going to be fighting to get points so that they can like fit themselves in the league. If one of you guys won, you wouldn't qualify for the top 8, but you would take 10 points away from someone who might need it.
Well, you
Jen,
just
let's do
increased
it.
my motivation.
Jen, let's do it. Let's stress them out.
I'm not trying to win. I'm just trying to take things away.
That's my favorite thing to do is stress people out. Let's ruin the bracket.
Yeah.
Even worse if you come first and second. That's like
do it.
18 points.
I'm gonna
That's-
start training just for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Let's do it. We'll do ciphers. We'll lab up together. Sick. I'll get Lee as well.
If I'm not capsuling in any capacity, I'm definitely gonna.
Have you
enter.
entered?
I
Have you
haven't
entered
entered any, so
Let's
I would
meet
also.
you, Jen, and Lee. All
we come
enter-
top four, popping.
Let's do it.
There's a lot of good poppers. I'm gonna try my best. I can't even
It's a
fucking
lot of good
come
poppers.
top 4 when I want to. come
Shut
top
up!
4.
You cannot do this anymore.
I cannot do this anymore. Oh, that is actually a song. I was
Yeah.
just singing anything, but that's
No,
true.
I don't want
Do
to do
this
this.
anymore.
You can't say
I
this
don't
anymore.
want to say that I'm not good.
You can't do it anymore, bruv. You've made top 8 too many times.
Yeah, Lil.
I want to win too many times.
Yeah, winning is you get there, bruv. Also,
Alright.
it's bracket dependent, but also like
It's not about the journey.
you're
It's about the
consist-
destination.
Precisely, and you're consistently making top 8, which means you're one of the best.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll say that. Thanks, guys. You make me feel good. I needed that today.
In the world.
Oh, all right, let's calm down.
World, you would smoke.
You hear that, Primal Instincts? I'm the best in the world.
Yeah,
Let me in, please. I just want friends.
You know
Um,
that's right.
I just want to hang out with you guys.
know
You look
that's
like you have so much fun on trips.
You know that's right.
All right. So, okay, let's end with 2 serious topics.
Uh-oh.
Because
Why are you so?
Well, I have announcements too. Do you want me to do that before the serious topics or after?
no, let's do it at the end.
Okay.
Let's do announcements at the end. Okay, so Jen, you identify as a woman,
Sometimes.
as far as I know. How do you feel in terms of like the general topic of women's safety in the dance scene? This is something that people have requested that we discuss.
Requested.
Special request.
Special delivery.
Just to talk about women's safety.
Well, have you? Let's ask like this: Have you ever felt unsafe as a woman in the dance scene?
I mean, not unsafe. Like, you know, like it depends what you mean by unsafe, because
Sure.
even that word is like quite loaded. Like, have I ever felt like in physical danger? You know, no.
Okay.
Have I ever felt uncomfortable? Yes. But
Daily.
but also just as a woman existing in the world.
See, this is my thing, right? Because a lot of the things that we talk about in the dance scene in terms of, I guess, social issues or however you want to call that type of thing, right? Are world issues. They're not dance scene specific.
Yeah.
So women feeling unsafe is not a dance scene issue because it is a world issue. Does that make sense? So it's like the question is not what's wrong with the dance scene, it's what's wrong with the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, how can we fix things as men, not as dancers, as women, not as dancers? I think it's like bigger than just the dance scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the answers are not in the dance scene.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not like, oh, we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
It's there's a bigger world issue, and that's where the answers lie, as opposed to
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
at the same time, I feel like it's a little bit of a chicken and the egg situation, because it's like, oh, it's a world problem or it's a like society issue. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you're not going to change the world. So
Sure.
how do you affect change? and then it's like in your personal life,
Yeah.
and then it's in your
In your circles.
in your
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
community.
That's true.
And like the dance like community is a small community itself. So it's like, yeah, then I think it's okay to talk about these issues and to talk about what it means in a certain communities and the ways that it comes up, because it's like whether it's like physical violence or verbal things that are verbally abusive. Like if you listen to a lot of hip hop music, like there's a lot of outrageous things that are said.
What?
But yeah, so it's like
On that note, Brent Fizer's new album is out. But, yeah, go on.
if any of you ladies want to feel empowered.
Did he say fuck the world, I'm a walking erection?
Oh, he said
Something
way
like
worse.
Has he?
I got too many hoes. Yeah.
Does he sing as well?
That's the first line of one of his songs. Yeah, and then it just like goes into instrumentals after that. It's like sick.
My man.
Yeah, go on.
But yeah, so I think it's okay to like to want to implement change within a
Sure,
community, but also
Can I ask you a
yeah.
question on that note? Is like my question is, if the world can't find answers, how do we do it on a smaller scale? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is the thing of like, and that's partly why it's like, you know, okay, so here's what I'm gonna say about like the dance scene is that like in general, I think that there's like smaller actual communities that exist within a larger community, but like a lot of people you see at events aren't people that are like part of your kind of daily community, or like you don't train with them.
No.
Like it's just people you see at events like once every other month.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or so it's like, yes, we all have a shared interest in doing something, but it's not like
I don't know you.
It's not like we work at all the same office.
yeah,
And,
it's
we're
not,
all under the same company.
it's not like we necessarily share the same system of values that are agreed in like, sorry, I always do this.
Yeah, you put the mic here and then you go,
I don't, because I want to look at you guys.
yes, I turn the mic
Okay,
with you.
so, okay. Yeah, so I think that sometimes it's like, okay, there's people that have a shared interest and they practice something together every now and then, but not necessarily like, does that a community make? But, you know, I think like maybe when,
Like what even is a community?
yeah, you know, I think, and I mean, it's another question, but I just think like there's a lot of people with different systems of values and different ways of acting in the world and different issues. And so it's kind of difficult to like organize, like there's no government within
exactly.
small communities that like can dictate the rules
Like
and all
if-
of that.
Sorry, go on.
But, you know, I think with that said, like there are things that happen that aren't okay and
Sure.
that like deserve to be addressed and deserve to be like, even if there's no kind of clear cut solution, it's kind of like, oh, just because there's no clear cut solution, then we should just shut up about it and not do anything and not say anything because we don't know exactly what to do. But I think a lot of like the safety of women, or even if we're not talking about like physical safety, but even like the kind of
At least
respect,
the comfort. Yeah.
like the respect and the
Treatment of women.
yeah, the treatment of women is like something that's often a bit like that people can act in negative ways and not even be aware of.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because of the conditioning and of how the world is. And I think it's good to have these conversations, but the truth is, for a lot of different things that happen, there is no clear-cut solution. There's no umbrella solution. They're all, even you have to, like, different situations are nuanced, you know, even when there's, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but it's like when there's allegations of like, you know, I think during the Me Too movement and all of that, like a lot of things got lumped together, like someone who's accused of rape and someone who, like, you know, was just chatting on Messenger to, like, you know, maybe someone who's like young-ish, like, you know, if it's like, oh, he was 25 and she was 16, it's like, it's not okay, but also it's not the same thing, like, as a sexual assault, not to say one is okay and one isn't, but you can't just group all these things together and find one solution. And I think that's kind of the issue with, like, with trying to oversimplify things.
Anything, whether that's race, whether that's women,
Yeah.
whether that's any, it's like any of these social issues. And I think for me to piggyback on that, like one thing I've had in general with a lot of these things is that because of stuff like Twitter and TikTok and stuff, it's catchy to like simplify things into like a sentence or a paragraph, and it's like no human issue is summarizable.
Yeah, some sure.
Has the ability to be summarized in one paragraph. Like me and Abe's friendship could not be summarized in a paragraph. So how are you telling me racism can be? You know what I mean? Like, and so I think it's just, and just to finish what I was saying, like I think that way of trying to fit your opinions into a small paragraph or a TikTok or whatever leads you to start to think that way in short paragraphs and short thinking. If you can't get it out in a phrase, you keep thinking until you can, and then when you're not on Twitter you still do that. You're like, how can I just say this in one sentence? Whereas like, and this is why I'm so passionate about like podcasts and stuff like that, where it's like I want to, for my opinions and to encourage people, is like I want us to go backwards and start articulating in longer ways and talking about things in a longer form, you know?
Yeah, I think it's very, like the whole give me an answer, we need answers now is a very... I remember thinking like that more, like thinking that it's very easy to solve and resolve things when I was younger.
Yeah.
And the older you get, the more you realise there's more...
Nuance.
Like
you're quite idealistic when you're young.
Yeah. You think you can change the world, and then you're like, oh, that's not necessarily how the world moves, right? So I would say that we don't have a union, so you can't really impact change on.
We're not even in industry
that level,
like in this.
Yeah, precisely. So like you could.
There is the industry.
All you could do is really focus on yourself and try and better yourself, and then if you do see something, or feel. Or something does happen to you, your next point of protocol would probably be to go to the event organizer.
Yes.
And then
the studio owner or whoever,
and then they have because the power's on them. They can then do one or two things. They can then speak to that individual or get that individual to come together with the person and talk it out. They can ban that individual. Or they can say like, cool, we've told that individual and we've also notified the other studios or other event organisers about what's happened at our event to monitor it.
And this is where... Sorry, wait, did you have something to finish before?
No, I was just going to say like the thing is like complex problem, complex solution.
Yeah. I think like, say in the dance industry, let's say, right, you have kind of like a hierarchy of people you can report to, right? So in any organization, you have the HR department, you have the manager, you have the boss, like people that you can speak to. If you're on a dance job, you have your choreographer, then you have the like producer of the thing, you've got your agent, you've got like Equity or Dancers Network, or you know, like there are people to go to. But when a lot of our stuff is like a fucking cypher in the park that no one really organized, who is in charge here? Who do we turn to? And then it's really hard to say. But that's why I say the event organizers, I've always said this, but I think 93% of our problems in the dance scene could be solved by event organizers. Because they, at the moment, and to make the full circle, like they could be solved by event organizers, which we can control by not going to certain events. Yeah. I hear this, and this is kind of not so much on the topic of women's safety, but I hear so much complaints about events. I've heard it this year. I've heard it for the last fucking 15 years of this event did this. They fucked me over. They did this, blah, blah, blah. It might be as serious as something like something about women's safety. It might be as like minimal as like, the event ran too long or something like that, right? But we fucking go back every single time they put on another event. For what reason? Like I try my best to not go back to events that piss me off, even if it's something small, until it's kind of resolved. Or like, you know, if I have a problem with the event, my solution is like, well, I'm not going back there next year. And it's like, I think this is how we kind of streamline who can run an event, because if anytime you make a mistake your event went broke the next year, you wouldn't run any more events, or you'd learn and fix your event up. But if you complain, you put a little story about the event or whatever, like I said, it can be like, oh, this event was like the DJs were crap or blah blah blah. It's like, well, then we can't all go, but if we all believe that the DJs were crap or they hired a judge that was making terrible decisions, like Let's not go back.
Yeah.
When they start to fix up and they say, hey guys, I made a new event with this judge, or I've consulted with these people for our next event, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, you're doing some research. I'm happy to try your event now that you've shown some,
Yeah.
And I think this kind of all goes back to like the women's safety thing, where it's like the event organizers do have a responsibility, and they do have a position where they can. There is like a cypher in the park, or like a jam, or you can't really stop someone from coming. It's just a thing that happens. Like there's no borders to the dance community. It's just if you feel like you like dance, you're in, which is the beauty of hip hop. But also now we can't restrict entry. It's impossible. How do you restrict entry to the community? Because it's not a real thing. It's just people who like dance. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the entry guideline. So if you're an organizer, now there's a door that can be closed.
Yeah.
So you have to you have to understand who you work with and who's in the scene. This is why it's so important, and this is why so many people get passionate about event organizers that aren't from the dance scene or seem to have no connection to the dance scene, because it's like, how do you know you're doing best by us, and how do we know you're not just here for the money?
Yeah.
And how do we know that you're gonna make the right decisions if there's a decision
Something
that
comes up. Yeah.
is to be made, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I have a not like controversial opinion, but
No.
oh,
Did a little bit of that.
Go on.
but like even women's safety, I know we're just kind of tackling this as like a general topic.
Yeah, which is way too broad to actually do.
Yeah, but I think also, because I know you said people mentioned wanting to discuss women's safety, but also I have an issue with the word safety. Like, just in general, I think like especially in the past few years with the woke movement and all the safe spaces and that, I think it's like, okay, if you're talking to me about like women's safety, it's like, okay, the first thing I think about is like physical,
safety,
someone harming
which is
you,
sure.
and like, of course you don't want anybody to be like mentally or verbally abused in an event as well. But I just think that is like what safety means to one person or the other changes, and how something can make me feel unsafe as a woman, but the girl next to me, that doesn't make her feel unsafe because maybe like she's been around the scene, so she knows like how things go and she feels like safe or comfortable. So it's kind of something that's also like what we were saying about like the nuanced situations. I think also like very umbrella terms like women's safety is like makes it difficult to address because we're talking about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And even like that's why I said like my controversial take is like I had an issue with like this should be a safe space, this should be a safe space. It's like, does that mean you just want to be comfortable? And the minute that you're uncomfortable, then it means somebody's threatening your safety. And it's kind of like and I'm saying I know it's controversial because like some people will fucking hate this and that is like maybe their physical safety was actually at stake somewhere. But I just think that there's this general idea of everything and everywhere needing to be safe for everybody is like, so the minute somebody offends you or does something you disagree with or does something you don't like or does something that shakes you up a little bit, then you're unsafe, and then it's a problem that everybody else has to solve.
Sorry, go on. No. I was just gonna say, like, I can only relate in like racist terms, and like racism is just like something that I've accepted growing up over the years, just as I'm sure that you've accepted that there are going to be times where you feel uncomfortable because you're a woman.
Yeah.
Like there are certain, like, people would often respond to situations like, oh, what, that happened, you should do that, or you should do this, or you should do that, and it's like, yeah, but also like life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I've made
I guess
my point
I think
clear
the
here,
thing with both of those, with race or women's safety, is like, I get what you're saying, is like putting it under an umbrella is like, you can't have one solution to something that is so many different things. So if we talk about like, how should you react to racism? And if I say you, Abe, should punch everyone in the face who's racist. Okay, so that range, anyone who's racist, like if we're putting that for an umbrella,
I'll be punching a lot of people.
And this is from microaggressions to all the way to someone like holding a KKK hat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, we can't say, all right, everything needs to be like, you need to punch everyone who's racist. We need to say, right, there's different things that can happen. Some things require a conversation. Some things require you saying, hey, stop that. Some things can be ignored. You know what I mean? And then some things do require a punch in the face. And I think this is kind of what you're saying with the women's safety. Is like, if we're saying is let's find one solution so that all women feel safe, it's like, that's fucking
Never
impossible.
gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
But it's like, that's why I guess like the solution is like what you said, it's complex and it's a case by case. Like
Yeah.
in this specific situation, I mean, I guess maybe the solution is
The solution, just to piggyback quickly, like for me, my solution is, and it's happened to me several times, racist things happen to me at work. Do I want to say this to the production office or whatever? Is it just like something that happens to me every day? No, it's not that big of a deal. I'll get over it, whatever. I just maybe won't speak to that person, or I'll skirt around that person or whatever. Something else happens to me and it's impacting me a bit more. Cool. Now I'll tell the production office they need to do something about this because of this specific situation. It is all specific to what happens and how you feel. And I've always taken it up with the organizers of why I'm there.
Yeah. And
Which I think is the main.
I think in a sense also, like in terms of like direct action, you know, and in terms of even how you want to live your activism. But I think that expecting other people to solve your problem, or not necessarily your problem, but a problem that you're dealing with, is like, you're kind of like disempowered by that because you're waiting for somebody else to make the change. So I think that, you know, and not the people that are in charge might not share your set of values and might not stand for what you stand for, so they're never going to change. But at the end of the day, you know, if we're talking about events, or I mean whatever the context might be, like, you know, the best way to affect change is to affect people's bottom lines and to affect the success that they're gonna have. So I mean, listen, I don't want to say that I'm the reason that it happened, but maybe I played a little role.
Where are you going with this?
Where I'm going is like, last year I went on a rant on Instagram saying how summer dance like almost never has women judging, and they never have women front facing the event. That it's not like, you know, for a culture that's supposed to be like the most like kind of a super diverse, it's not diverse. It's all the same gender, all the same age group, like whatever. And now they have women judging in all categories. I'm not saying it's because of me. No, I'm sure that they like could not care less about my Instagram.
Hey, take some of that credit. Take some of that credit, though, girl.
But I'm just saying that, you know, for me, I was like, okay, this is something I care about, and I'm gonna be vocal, not in a sense of saying like you're shit and nobody should support them. But I did say I'm not going to events anymore. When there's not at least one woman who's judging, and you know, for sure those events might not care if I don't go. That's okay.
But that's
I'm
your
not
part.
going.
Happier, and you'd be happier for it.
Yeah, and I'm not going anymore. Like now I decide to put my money and my time where my values are, and not just go to events and be like, why aren't the organizers doing this and why aren't they doing that? And it's like, it becomes a game of like pointing fingers of whose responsibility it is to make the change.
Meanwhile, you're putting money in their pocket, allowing them to do the same thing year after year.
And with no like really like impact apart from mouthing off, and they're just like, okay,
we've given you our money.
And
you've given us your money, so cool. Say
and it's like, you must not be that unhappy if you're still here. You know, so I think, you know, and whether that's like, okay, there's someone that they hire that there's someone that an event hires and you don't support that person, so you don't go to that event. And you know, I'm also for not like, I'm not big into cancel culture or whatever, but if you want to make people aware, you know, I think it's not saying, oh, that event is shit for hiring that person, but it's just, hey, I'm not going, like, you can be vocal about it in a sense that I'm not
this is why
gonna be going to that event, and this is why. And then also let people do what they want. Like,
if they make
people,
not everybody has to abide by your value system the same way that you wouldn't want other people to hold you to that. Like, because Abe has values this, then I should have the same. You know, if it's I would hope if it's like your close friends, then the reason why they're your close friends is that they hold the same value system,
or at least they've got your back if you're not going to something.
Exactly. So, you know, I think that how you can affect change and like women's safety is also by saying, I'm not going to support that event because last time I went, something happened and nobody did anything, and I don't want to support events where, you know,
nobody does anything.
This kind of thing goes on unchecked. So, you know, I think that having these conversations and saying these things out loud, and it doesn't have to be like on social media, it can be in conversations with your friends and say, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore. Because even when the thing about not supporting women's event, not supporting events where there's no women visible. I remember I was telling the AIM girls about it, and like, you know, we had conversations where some of the girls were like, oh yeah, that's really dope, I would want to do it too, and some of the girls that are like, but I really want to battle now, so if I do that, it means I'm not gonna be
get a chance
able
to.
And it's like, I can't blame you for that, because I understand, but I'm also at a point where I'm like, I don't care, like, not I don't care about it anymore, but the stakes are different for you and me, because I'm not necessarily in that headspace where I want to battle all the time, so the cost for me is not the same cost for you, and I have to respect that. You know, that like maybe you have another interest that I don't share, and maybe that's why you keep on going. But a different stage where you're at in your life, I think it's just important to check yourself first before you want to check everybody else about what you're doing to what you are actively doing to support your values of not promoting and not encouraging certain things.
100%.
And then, you know, if you want to put an event on, or if you want to produce an event, or if your people are producing an event, then you can also get involved and be like, hey, how are you going to make sure that this kind of thing doesn't happen? I've seen events now where they have a designated like
safeguarding lead.
Safeguarding person, where it's like, if you they just bring that person on stage. If anything happens today that you feel uncomfortable, or if anybody acts in a weird way with you, this is the person you can see.
And in the same way that you, like, if you can't afford, like, you know, you don't have a big budget or whatever, you might call in a favor from a friend to DJ or something. You can do that with that person. It doesn't have to be like, you know, great if it's someone who's qualified, but if you have someone that like you can ask, or you can maybe even there's charities or organizations that will supply someone. Hey, I'm putting on a cultural event. Could you supply someone for free from your organization who could just be there in case something happens and someone needs someone to talk to? I'm sure that exists. Like, so I think it's like you don't need to be a huge event in order to have these things. It's just your priorities. And I think that's a great point, where it's like, what do you prioritize? Because it's like, you might have like 3 judges, 2 DJs, 2 hosts, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, cool. But like, also there's these other things that like, you need someone who people can go to. Let's say like even like a fucking paramedic. Like, is anyone at some of these events first aid trained? Because do you know what I mean? It's like, like if you go to BC1 or any of these big breaking events, they had it at UK Champs, whatever, there's an ambulance and 2 paramedics waiting at the back doors.
That fucking happened to me at an event when my leg popped on stage.
But was there someone there?
No, I had to climb all the way up the stairs with one leg.
So when you get to these bigger events, and the reason that's happened, the reason that I left UK Champs and outside the back there was 2 paramedics and a fucking ambulance, is because the organizers know what the fuck they're doing. And most low-level organizers don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I'm saying this from a position, I've ran 5 annual successful events from 2011 to 2016.
Better tell them.
The last was an international qualifier. And I studied events in uni. So
you better tell them.
Eat a dick about events, right? Basically.
Talk about
there's a lot of stuff I talk about that I'm not qualified to talk about. I think I'm qualified to talk about that one. A lot of low-level event organizers don't know what they're doing, and they just throw on an event because they just kind of figured it out, right? And you miss a lot of shit, and these are the people that we enable by going to their events over and over. And it's like, listen, when I went to UK Champs, was it the best event I've ever been to in my life? Probably not. I had a great time. Probably not the best event I've ever been to, but the venue was great. It was comfortable. It ran to time. There were paramedics looking after the B-boys. There was security.
Checking bags.
They check bags. These are the reasons I will go back and support UK Champs, because they do the right thing. It was run in a way that the B-boys enjoyed and the B-girls enjoyed the way that the event was run, and it was as true to, you know, the cultural thing as possible, right?
Yeah.
So these are, whether or not I like, oh, but my favorite fucking breaker wasn't there or whatever, it doesn't mean I'm not going to go back to an event, right? Even something as little as like, they like if an event like doesn't film their battles, and I like to be at a battle where they film events, I might not go back because of that. It's like you have to figure out what it is that you want to support. And for me, yes, it goes to the spectrum of like safety and doing things right in a way that like we can all feel safe and whatever, right? But then even down to what you were saying about standing by your values is like, one of my values is make a fucking effort if you're going to run an event in this scene, especially if you're not part of this scene or this culture. I'll have a lot more time, and I'm not talking about the serious stuff. I'm talking about little issues like running overtime or cutting our rounds halfway through, changing plans. If you're from the scene, from the culture, and you're making your best effort and you make some fucking mistakes and the event is super long or blah, 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 cool, fine. But my like what you're saying, my values as a dancer is care about the scene first and foremost. If you're not from the scene, like Red Bull, fine, but they've done enough to prove to me as an individual that they care about the scene, so I'll support their shit, right? Like their whatever their anniversary was, it was like 20 something years in breaking or whatever it was. It's like they've been in the fucking scene more than some breakers who are in the culture. But some of these people that run events that aren't really from the scene or don't, like, you haven't proved to me as an individual that you care about the event, and your event was shit and you didn't prioritize the things that I think the culture needs you to prioritize. Whether that's something as serious as women's safety or whether that's not, I'm not going to go back to your event. And like, I think this is what you're saying. I super agree that it's like an individual decision that you have to make to not support these certain things.
Yeah. And also I think that, in a sense, like if you know, the thing I said about community is like, right, well, part of your responsibility as part of a community is to like feedback and like, you know, let's say like as a woman on women's issues, it's like, okay, then part of my responsibility as a member of my community is like to talk to my fellow men and my thing that are in these positions, and to have these conversations and to like talk to event organizers or to sometimes like to complain loud and whatever. But it's not necessarily like to just shout and to avoid like. Yeah,
you have to be calculated with your actions to make the most
or you know, if it's
effect.
If it's a call to action, then what is the action
that you're calling
to? You know, of not necessarily saying like, when is this gonna end? Like, this is bullshit. How long are we gonna blah blah blah? Okay, fine, fair.
Don't support this event next year, or you like, what is the thing that you're asking people to do to help you?
Yeah, so this is the thing. Like, let's say when I changed.
When I was a young warthog.
No, but it's like, you know, I'm saying, I want to see a change. So that's what I'm going to do. And I would love if the people who feel the same way did the same thing. But also, to bring on change, it has to come from multiple sides. You know, it doesn't necessarily need one action. Maybe it needs like people coming in with a whole bunch of different strategies. So, you know, I think, like that, you know, think, okay, I want to implement change. I want things to change. So what can I do? So, because even when like, I was at a conference, and it was like, I think One Dance UK, and there was like this panel conversation about diversity in arts organization. And it was kind of like artists saying it's the like kind of the producers and people working within organizations, it's their responsibility. And then people in their thing was saying like, oh, but it's the board, like the boards gets to decide a lot of things. And people that were on boards were like, oh, well, you know, it's kind of like up to the artist to create more, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, I was just sitting there, and at one point I got really like annoyed, and I didn't know any people in the room, but I was just like, so you guys are all here saying it's somebody else's responsibility to make the change.
I mean, like, none of us have solved anything
and like we're just kind of here saying, oh, but you should do it. But if like I've done enough on my side, so you know, it's really you're in a position to change. And it's like, well, really, I can't make things that much different, so it's really like their responsibility to change it. And then it's like, oh, so that's why nothing changes, you know, because nobody wants to say, yeah, you know what, if there's misogyny in my life, I'm responsible for it too. You know, I'm like participating in some way,
or at least like letting it happen.
Yeah. And not saying anything, or like maybe also, I'm not saying it's like women's fault if there is misogyny.
No.
But I'm just saying that, like, if there's a larger issue, then, and it's something you really care about, then it's worth having a really hard, long think about what are the actions you can do now, if you want if you want to gather people to affect that change. Or but I just think, like, saying, oh, it's the event organizers' responsibility, and then the event organizers are going to say it's somebody else's responsibility, and if people don't, but it's just, if everybody takes accountability, like, if everybody says, yes, I'm responsible, the people going, like, everybody accepts that, then it's a lot more likely to change than say, I'm just going to keep on doing the same and hope that somebody else takes this into their own hands.
Sure. But I think with my point, I'm saying, like, I think it's the event organizer's fault, but we can control them.
Still, the onus is on you.
Exactly.
It's still what I'm saying. I'm not saying they need to, they need to fix up, but it's like, I'm going to not support the thing so that they fix up.
And also, it's like and that's what I'm saying also in taking.
And also, just on that point, like, it's okay to let people know why you're not coming to their event. Yeah. Like, this is one thing that I've heard is, like, people will bitch and complain and say, oh, this event's too expensive. This event, like, this happened, like, they let the thing go on too long, or, oh, the judges are whack, blah, 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 right? Cool. And that's, like, just complaining about it is not really helpful. But if you don't go because of those reasons, cool. It's also fine, especially when it's someone that we know from the community or has Instagram. Write them a message and say, hey, just wanted to let you know, for some feedback, I'm not going to attend your event because the price is a bit too high. Just let them know, like, give some feedback.
Yeah, it's like, also you say,
or I don't like the judges that you chose, so I'm not going to attend. Not in a horrible way, you don't have to attack them. Just be like, and this is again for more trivial issues maybe. Oh, last year your event ran on really long, you had crazy breaks, and I didn't feel like you need them. I had a really horrible time at your event. Just wanted to let you know that's why I won't be coming back this year.
Yeah, and also this is part of the community spirit, where, like, you're not saying this to take the person down, but you're saying it so that, like, we can all build and get better together. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think that's also part of the thing where you're not just, like, on the receiving end of the event, but you also, like, feed back to it and communicate and, like,
and we cultivate the events that we like.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts on women's safety.
Cool. Well,
hashtag not all women.
I think you've solved it.
Sick.
I think we've solved everything.
Sick.
Oh. Yeah.
Was there another second serious topic?
No.
Oh, that was it.
We're topicked out.
Should I do my announcements?
Yeah, do your announcements.
Jenny's announcements. Jenny.
I was doing so good, I saved the post.
You know that's right.
That's right.
Hello, chicken.
Hello, egg. Which one of us came first?
That's a good question.
Should we find out?
Okay.
All right, we're gonna have to cut that bit. There's kids to listen to this.
Don't cut it. That's what she said.
You need to cut it.
It's Jenny's announcements.
It's Jenny's announcements.
Okay, so 2 days ago.
Don't tell us about 2 events that happened 2 days ago.
No, it's not an event. It's a post.
Can't go now.
It's a post. It's a post. So I saw a post basically that's casting for a dance film. Ooh. And the casting is done, I think, in collaboration with Godson.
Ooh.
We're looking for female identifying contemporary London-based for an R&D rehearsal and a UK shoot. We need a strong dancer who's comfortable on camera, but no film experience is necessary. We want to find a collaborator who can contribute their ideas and style in our process. Is this you or someone you have worked with? DM us your work or email me, not me, but the person posting, which is cordelia@casafestival.org.uk. And you can see, and it says, obviously, this is paid. The post is on Cordelia_Grierson, so GRIERSON, and Cordelia is just like what you hear. Cordelia_Grierson. Or maybe you can just hit up Godson about it, but also maybe don't, because that's not his job to reply to casting informations if I guess he's choreographing or maybe doing movement direction.
He's probably in the gym making himself look sexy as fuck.
You know that's right.
That's fine as hell.
Oh, well,
Who's Godson?
Godson.
Who is Godson?
Godson.
Oh, Godson. Why did
I
you
thought-
say Godson?
You said Godson.
No,
Yeah.
you've been saying Godson all this time.
Yeah, because she has an accent. Godson.
Say Godson.
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 It's Godson.
Say
Godson.
Godson.
Say Godson. Say the word right. You said Godson.
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 Correct word identified.
Now I know who you're talking about.
Oh.
Wait, my other announcement was
Jenny's other announcement.
Waiting to receive
Receiving.
information.
Receiving announcement.
I feel like maybe the post got deleted.
Post unavailable.
Deleted. Post.
But I know that Drea, I saw that she was
Oh yeah,
holding
they
auditions.
I think it's done already.
Oh,
They
'cause
said they got
received too many
it
emails?
got over, and then they said we'll get back to everyone and blah blah. So it got taken down.
Yeah, because I like on the post it said that it was open till the 28th.
Yeah, but I think they got like wild
Right.
They got way
Response.
too many.
because everybody wants to add it to the tally.
Everybody wants to add it to the tally.
Ain't no way.
I ain't
Something
never
ain't
been
no
with a
way.
baddie
Why is your robot doing that constantly?
because
T-Rex
I'm
hands.
fucking so like animated in my robot. You know what I mean?
Sorry, Jenny, we cut you off.
Jurassic Park robots. Props. What do you call that? Animatronics. Roar. Reset for scene. T-Rex scene. Rash. Rash. Is there any more? Is that it?
Yeah, well, I had the Drea thing, but it's
Oh,
gone
you
now.
did a great job. Oh, I've got one more.
What?
Sorry, I'll do your job for you.
Yeah,
No, you're doing a
why
great
don't
job.
you?
It's fine.
Luke taking over announcement phase.
Luke's robot announcement.
Preparing to receive Luke's announcement.
Instagram tag #Unity. Announcing event movie night. Ticket link in bio. I actually don't know much about movie night, to be honest. It's an event that's coming up in Hackney. The at is #Unity, not hashtag. It's like at the word hashtag and then the word unity. It's an event that's coming up on the 30th of July, 7:30 till late. There's, I think, a movie screening and some music and some cool shit. So yeah, freaking check that out, y'all.
Anything happening this weekend?
Anything happening this coming weekend?
Didn't you say there's a battle?
You know that's right.
You know that's right.
You know that's right.
Not this weekend, but next weekend. Sheldon Williams is holding a battle.
Sheldon.
as his Tribeways, I think it's like his company or his organization, but Tribeways are holding a battle. So definitely check that out on the
Where?
Tribeways Instagram.
Oh.
Tribeways.
And what else was I
They
going to
make
say?
good SoundCloud.
Good SoundCloud mixes. Sheldon. Good
Sheldon.
DJ. Good dancer.
Good person.
Tribe Ways.
Tribeways. Yeah. And what else was I going to say?
A young Ivan.
Firehouse just mentioned. Yeah. Firehouse just mentioned that they're going to have their second to last event of the Kingdoms League
Kingdoms
on August the
League.
7th at the Scoop. I believe it's the same venue as last time.
The Scoop.
I'll tell you what, that was a fucking good event last
Is that the
year.
outside
Yeah.
one
That is the
I went
outside
to?
one.
Oh wow! I'm so excited.
Firehouse.
Firehouse. Don't they have a song with Legend of Beatsair where they do Firehouse robot
maybe.
thing? You got that shit.
You got
Firehouse.
that shit.
Will handsome Kendrick Lamar be there?
Brooke, for fuck's sake, we said it again. He's gonna post this as Zora and be like, I'm the Kendrick Lamar of the dance scene.
Welcome to Kendrick Lamar's popping event.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be there. Yeah, so they're doing the Kingdoms League, and they have 2 more events until the final event, I believe. And so you've got time to get your rankings in, unless somebody comes in and takes your spot.
Or throw off the rankings. Up. Who are the judges?
I will have to look them up.
Look them up.
I feel like I saw Jonadette.
Jonadette is a judge.
Are you looking it up, or am I looking it up, or are we both looking
Both
it up?
look it up at the same time.
Yeah. Also, people, if you want to find out more information, you can
People, if you
go
wanna find out
to
more
Fire FIYA dot house. You're annoying.
Loading.
Yep.
Processing.
Where does it say the judges?
Well, I just see the pictures on the hip hop weekender thing, and
True. They haven't
there's-
actually announced. They've got a picture of Debo, Dixon, Roxy, Kashmir, Jonadette, and Paris,
so we know they're involved. But
We don't know who's who.
and it's free, yo.
my favorite prize.
Well, last year they had 2 hosts. Was Dixon and
Brooke. No, Dixon and Sean were hosting, I think.
was
No.
it? I thought it
I
was
don't think
Dixon
so.
and his wife.
Julia. Oh, true. Yeah, that is true. All right. Well, yeah. Check that out. I will be there in some capacity or another.
Check it out, y'all.
And check this wave out.
Guys, I did so well this episode, not being an annoying little loud hyper shit.
yeah, me too.
We did really well.
You guys, I think you should both be proud of yourself.
Did you notice?
Did you notice? Yeah. Did you come in today thinking like, right, I'm gonna be calm, mature Jen?
Yes.
I did as well. That's so
You
weird.
thought I'm gonna be calm, mature Jen.
Yeah.
Sick.
And then it got away when he.
We have to have a release. Must release oil.
Oh, release your oil.
Oh,
This is
very
getting
inappropriate.
Third
Inappropriate.
wheel.
Detected.
Third wheel.
Third wheel. Third wheel. Come back.
No.
Be my first wheel. This is why people call it a shitty chatty room.
True.
They're just jealous.
Well, I'm proud that you didn't go. You know what the real mark is of the sensibilities?
I didn't go handheld.
You did not go handheld.
I
this
was
week.
tempted to.
Well, I
Handheld
think,
is so much more comfortable.
is it?
handheld.
I hate holding it up. I feel like I'm performing at a rap concert.
I like that element to it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've discovered that no matter what, I just can't really speak into the mic, whether it's
No,
on my
you're
hand or
terrible.
on the
You do
stand.
this and then you go like that.
I don't think you would do that if you were handheld, Jen.
I don't think you would do that if I was handheld.
What? I think everybody, including us three and all the listeners, know that we finished,
Yes.
but we're just
Speaking
waiting till
now.
we find the right time to end.
Now is the right time.
Bye.
What are
Stop
you
doing
doing
that.
here?
What? You said you wanted it to end, and
You
when
always
did
just
it
cut
end?
us off.
Now they're arguing.
Because you said it's finished.
Girlfriend
then
and
fucking let it
boyfriend
finish.
arguing.
All right.
Press the red button.
All right, guys, wait.
Press the red button.
No, hold on. Before we finish, let me just say a couple of things.
Yes.
What a piece of shit.
Girlfriend and boyfriend argue like this all the time.
Not for much longer. All right. So, yeah, check out the Capsule on Instagram. Thank you, everyone, for who's been listening all this time. Please, if you're listening and you enjoy the Capsule, please tell a friend. We're coming up for, in a month or two, it's going to be 1 year of the Capsule. So, I've done an episode every single week, bar the 4 weeks when my dad passed away. I hope you can forgive me. But also, I'm hoping that I continue this at least until September, but if not more. And that will be, every week for a year.
Bruv, that
Is worth celebrating.
is worth celebrating.
So should
Most
we
of you
get
don't-
fucking... Actually, you know what? If you're listening this far, leave us a comment on either the Instagram or the YouTube. How should we celebrate the 1 year? Should we just get drunk on air?
White
'Cause
girl
that
wasted.
seems like the first...
Be like, I don't want to Becky.
Should we just invite a bunch of people over and just pass the mics around
know-
and just talk shit for like
you know
3
what we
hours?
should do is people should in the YouTube thing, people should give suggestions on what we should do, and the comment that gets the most like, we're gonna do it.
Ooh.
But if the comment is stupid, like, I don't know, B-Girl Solid says, Chatty shitty, eat shit.
Yeah.
Then I don't want to do that.
Agreed.
Also,
Okay,
we should
well,
play video games as well. We
Should
should
we-
play
yeah,
Mario
what
Kart. We should do a capsule Mario Kart tournament.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
Jenny does not like the sound of that.
Because she get her ass a kicked.
I will train you in Mario Kart.
Oh, for
before,
fuck's sake. Then she
just
will
to
win.
beat everyone else.
Perfect.
What was it that I got smoked at? Oh, I got
NBA?
smoked at bowling, bro. I never told anyone about this. I was going to take this to my grave.
Oh,
I fucking,
not by
when
me.
we were in, yeah. Oh no, you lost to me.
I lost to
When we were
everybody.
in Prague, I went bowling with Jed, my mum, and my sister, thinking I'm about to fucking sweep up all those times I go out with Abe and
Men.
Lee and get and get ruined at bowling. Like this is the time where I'm just gonna fucking chill, throw a few strikes, and go. My sister and my mum smoked me at bowling. Like, bro, we did 2 games. Halfway through the first game, I started really trying. I still lost, and I was all right. Let's play another one. And I was like, right, you know, when I'm like trying to act like I'm still having fun, but in my head, I'm like, I'm trying so hard right now, and I still got beaten by both
They
of them.
definitely trained before you guys went out. They were like, let's
It
just
was
go to flipping.
horrendous, bro.
And I lost by far. All
Yeah,
the
and then
games.
she lost.
I
to me.
always lose at bowling, so don't worry, Jen.
No,
It just doesn't make sense as a game.
What, bowling?
Kind of a weird thing.
It's a weird game. Unless
I
it's
mean,
on
it
the
makes
Wii.
sense, but I think that
It's just fun to throw a big.
that physically I'm not equipped for it. Maybe my boobs are too big.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
You know, that's right.
You know that's right.
All right. Well, yeah, everyone check out that. Also, one thing that I was told to mention again by someone who's not here is that
Tally?
no, someone who I saw at an event is that we still have the donations link open. So there's plenty of things that I want to do with the capsule. None of this so far has been funded. Well, little parts have been funded, but yeah, if you want to donate and help us to kind of do more stuff and expand our reach as an organization beyond just what we're doing at the moment, which I'm hoping to do, please, you can donate or tell a rich friend to donate. You can also find me on OnlyFans in the in the near future if the price of rental properties don't go down.
You could do OnlyFans, but do the podcast naked.
Who would pay for that? Because
I
if
would.
enough
I
people would
would.
pay for that, I will do.
I want to see you meat and 2 veg whilst you're doing podcasting, mate. I'd love that.
Wait, why is one meat and the two? Why can't they be 2?
It's meat and 2 veg,
Why
mate.
can't it be 2 meatballs and a?
Nah, because that's the saying. It's meat and 2 veg.
Why can't it be 2 meatballs and a courgette? Why can't it be vegan?
It could be nowadays. Fucking hell, fucking they're
Can't it be
taking over.
tofu?
They're taking over everything. These wokeists. They're taking over the term meat and 2 veg now. Go
Yeah.
on, tofu. What's going on with you?
It hurts my ears.
Yeah, I know,
It's squishing
Bruno.
them.
Oh, all right. We're gonna go now. We've all had enough, including you at home listening or watching. All right. Thanks everyone. Catch you next week. Love you all. And
Bye. I really wanted to keep it up.